Okay, so now that my phone isn't interrupting me, this is kind of a channel introduction video to this wonderful channel. So this channel is basically going to be, I don't even know what it's going to be at the moment. So this summer I kind of have this project going that I want to read, like a certain amount of books by the end of the summer, because I am really into books, especially fantasy novels, and I just really wanted to start sort of vlogging about it, really, since I haven't really vlogged at all much, and I just felt like doing it. Yeah, I'm kind of setting a goal for myself. It sounds a bit idyllic, but I'd love to read like 20 or something books by the end of the summer. I've just finished my 9th one since the beginning of this year, so I might increase the number of books that I'm to read if I reach that goal already. But that is my like minimalist goal for now. So 11 more books to go. That was really super. And now this channel will be for mainly book vlogs, like, I don't know, book reviews and stuff, I suppose. I know there's a lot of book reviews out there already, but I might try and do some. Also, I've got quite a few books coming in now. I've ordered quite a few books. Yes, they're all fantasy books, I think. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the fantasy genre. I mean, fantasy covers a lot of different genres, really. I'm not that really into vampire books. I don't know. I just don't really like them. I'm more into the sort of fae, kind of fairy genre. Just loads of types of fantasy. I'm starting to get really into dystopian now as well. So, and fairy tale retellings. So I've ordered like Jackson Pierce's Sisters Red and Sweetly, which are retellings of Red Riding Hood and Hansel and Gretel, which is really cool because I've never heard of a retelling of Hansel and Gretel before, so I'm really excited to read that. Yay! And also ordered Cinder, which is futuristic retelling of if you're here watching this and it's about books or whatever, you've probably heard of Cinder. I don't know, it came out this year, and I really wanted to read it because it sounded really interesting, and I really liked a book called Entwined by Heather Dixon, which was a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses, which I've also never heard of a retelling of that before, and that was a really, really good book. So, hang on, I'll go get it. This is what it looks like. I got it quite soon after it came out, so that's why it's hardcover, because the paperback wasn't available yet. Usually I get paperback. I'm actually glad I got the hardcover because it's pretty and it's shiny and it's really good. It's quite a thick book, I suppose. It's not like the thickest book ever, but it's a good, yeah, 472 pages, so it's pretty good. And so much happens in this book. I read it sort of Christmas time, and it was amazing. It blew me away, really. So if you like fairy tale retellings, or even if you don't, because I've heard a lot of people say that they found that for a lot of fairy tale retellings, one has to know the original fairy tale really well to get what's going on in the actual novel or story or whatever. I did not find that at all with this book. This book, I completely got what was going on at all times. I didn't know the story of 12 Dancing Princesses that well. I mean, I probably heard it once or twice when I was a kid, and then I didn't really hear it after that again, so I couldn't really remember what it was about anyway. But I completely got this story. It blew me away. The style of writing was amazing. If she ever writes any more books, I am totally buying them, because her writing style was just amazing, and her characters were really well developed. I loved the names of all the characters and everything. I sort of started to go into a book review of this, which I'm not meaning to do. I'll probably make a separate video to actually review this. but it is absolutely exceptional, so please pick it up. Wrong way around. Please pick it up, and yeah, it's again Entwined by Heather Dixon, and the 9th book of this year, which maybe I should start this by introducing the books I've actually read this year. That might be a good idea. Be right back. Okay, so I've got my stack of books here. Firstly, this I got around Christmas, Clockwork Prince, which is the continuation to Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is the prequel series to her Mortal Instruments series, and it's called the Infernal Devices series. This was really good. I loved it, as I love all of her books. I also read City of Fallen Angels right at the beginning of this year, because I just discovered the books I think December last year, so I read them all really quickly, but City of Fallen Angels was the beginning of this year, and it was Switched by Amanda Hocking, and that was good. It wasn't quite as high standard as Cassandra Clare's books or anything, or most of the books that I'd read recently, but it was really easy, a really easy read, which I needed at the time. It was really good for me to read this book because I needed something as a sort of breather, which wasn't all sort of amazingly action-packed and everything. I found it very, obviously there's action in it and stuff. I don't know, it was just a bit more easygoing for me than the other books, and it's also shorter. It's about 328 pages, so it's not that long. But I was still interested enough in it I want to still get the other 2 books in the trilogy to finish reading the story. The next book I read was Stolen Away by Alexandra Harvey. This is a really short book, but a lot happens in it. It's another fae book, fairy book, set in modern times. It's only 278 pages, so it's really thin. Took me maybe a day to read, but it was really good. I loved her style of writing, Alexandra Harvey. So I went ahead and bought her Haunting Violet story, which is, I hardly ever read ghost stories or anything like that. This was a ghost story, but it was set in Victorian times, which I love to read about that time period, and she captured the style of writing she captured really well, and I really felt like the character was in those times most of the time. And it was really a good sort of mystery kind of novel in itself, as well as a ghost story, and I just really loved it. This was amazing. I loved this book. This was one of my favourite books of this year. Amazing. Pick it up. And then, of course, as the film was coming out, and I heard about it before, but I didn't really know what it was about, and I hadn't read it or anything. Was the Hunger Games trilogy. I read these so quickly. I literally read the 3 books in 2 weeks, which might not be quick for some people, but for me it was quick because I was also doing full-time college and art, which was a double course, so it was really hectic time, but I managed to read all 3 books in 2 weeks. I was really proud. And yeah, they were amazing. I mean, a lot of people love them, and a lot of people don't love them that much because they think it's a rip-off of Battle Royale or something. I've never seen Battle Royale, so I don't know. I just enjoyed them for what they were, and I thought they were amazing. And the book I've just finished is Dark Angel. This is the 9th book of this year that I've read. I'm currently reading my 10th book, but we'll get on to that. I finished this yesterday, I think. Yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. It was either yesterday or the day before. Doesn't really matter. I read this in less than a week. which was good because I was also sick, so, but you don't want to know about that. Anyway, yeah, this book I've had since like last summer because my friend gave it to me for my birthday, and I had no idea, I'd never heard of it before, and I was reading loads of other books at the time, so I never really got around to reading it until now. And also the blurb didn't really draw me in because blurb doesn't say anything about the story, so I was absolutely clueless as to what the story was. Yeah, but actually when I started reading it, I really liked the writing style. I thought it was a really nice writing style. It had a good pace, and I didn't feel like bored at any one time or anything. There were quite a few twists towards the end that I didn't expect. It's quite good, really. Not the best book I've read, but quite good. Probably good enough. I'm probably interested enough that I'll get the second one. And if that's good, I'll probably get the third one when it comes out, because I think it's a trilogy, but yeah. Yeah, anyway, that was Dark Angel. And you're probably all going to guess which book